Good morning, everybody. Good Friday morning. I told a story last night at Centering Prayer to the group that yesterday's live stream I had planned on talking about dualism, and then I just thought, I don't know, that doesn't apply itself well to an 8-minute format, and it might be one of those things that's only interesting to me and nobody else. And then I told the story of how God blessed me at like 3:30 or 4 in the morning. I literally woke up and I had a catchy takeaway. It's never too late. And the script wrote itself. I picked up my phone. I actually did a talk to text thing, wrote out yesterday's live stream, and it was in the can. I felt great about life. And I thought, whoa, thank goodness I didn't do a live stream on dualism and an invitation to non-duality. Does that even mean anything to anybody? But of course, one of the members of Centering Prayer said, I hear about dualism all the time. I don't even know what it is. So here we are doing it a day later. Dualistic thinking is the ego's attempt to make ordered things which will always have an element of mystery. And they will not be fully ordered. One way to maybe access this thought is the phrase that I once heard, the opposite of faith is not doubt, but the opposite of faith is certitude, being positive about anything and everything. This is a fact, this is a falsehood, and dividing all of life up into truths and falsehood. Fact and falsehood, and then striving to make everything fall into one of these two boxes and trying to eliminate mystery in life, which actually cannot be done. There will always be an element of mystery. There will always be a tension in the universe. Now, there's a Bible story that really shows this perfectly, the human propensity to try to always get an exact answer, and the wiser person, in this case Jesus, the far wiser, the far more God-informed person of Jesus, invites the disciples away from dualistic thinking, from dualism. And the story is in the book of John, chapter 9, and they're just wandering down the road, and it says, Jesus sees a blind man. Okay, that's a fact. And the disciples then need more facts. They say, Jesus, this blind guy, is he blind because he's a sinner or his parents are sinners? Now, there's something about dualistic thinking you can learn right from the beginning. Often our need for certitude then limits our range of possibilities. We choose two things that make logical sense to us, but actually both might be wrong. But we've divided up. Is it A or B? But in this case, the answer was J or K. And so that need for certitude often leads us astray. And Jesus says as much. Neither he nor his parents sinned. The reason he's blind is that through him, God's works will be demonstrated or proclaimed or realized, depending on your Bible's English translation of what Jesus says. Jesus has invited the disciples to see what is and to give up what they need because of their egos and their desire for control, their desire for certitude. Said another way, Jesus is inviting his disciples away from dualism and inviting them toward non-dualistic thinking. There will always be things in our lives that we know, and there will always be things that we don't know. And these things will always be enjoined, conjoined, combined. They will be fused, they will be connected. And that's part of the tension that we live in. And here's the good news. God is in all of it. God is in the pain and in the glory. God is in the cross of Jesus, and God is in the empty tomb. God is Jesus ascending fully alive. to live forever and reign in wisdom. Don't get caught up by the details that urge us to divide ourselves from this bigger truth because of a need to have things more tightly sewn up. It is the permanent nature of the universe to have two things which seem paradoxical: diversity plus a deep desire and a longing from earth and heaven for community. And in some ways, they're at odds with one another. Yes, permanently at odds with one another. I am different from the other 7 billion people on the planet, and so are you. Yet, there is a clear call from earth and heaven. There's something in our gut and there's something in the sky that says, experience full communion with one another, because that is the truth of earth and heaven. And you think, well, then why are we all different? Yes. We'll never know fully, but there's a beauty in the diversity, and there's a beauty in the call to community, and how those two are held in tension, how they live best together, is usually done when we don't always try to quantify things into certain facts. You with me so far? Bad things happen when we're forever proclaiming a judgment, an assessment, and a value judgment on every facet of our lives. For 1,800 years, the Christian religion, for instance, has the beauty, the diversity, and the call to community from Jesus, where he says, guys, don't get hung up on judging this blind guy's a sinner or his parents are sinners, all just to give yourself a little dopamine boost of, oh, thank God I'm not blind. I have eyes that work. He's a loser, or his parents are. Maybe all three of them are. You see how this judgment, this dualistic thinking only hurts ourselves and others, and Jesus offers us something different. So if you find yourself in a religious group, if you're a Baptist and you're forever thinking you're better than Catholics, or if you're a Roman Catholic and you ever think you're better than Baptists, realize in a loving way that this is not serving you well, but instead to delight in all the goodness of every expression of Christianity, in every expression of every religion. There is beauty. And in almost every circumstance, every person, every event, everything, visible and invisible, is the potential for God to show God's miraculous power and for it to be revealed. When we hold on to that truth, we don't need the dualistic thinking. We're moving toward a godly non-duality. I'm going to talk more about this, but that's enough for today to introduce the topic. Have a blessed rest of the Friday and a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again soon.